I have to give it to Charles. And this may be an unpopular opinion today, but I have to give it to Charles for playing his cards right. I mean, he used his older son, Prince William, to bully and harass his younger brother out of the UK, then got the same son to publicly denounce his mother as paranoid and approve of his mistress as a stepmother and a queen consort. I have to give it to Charles. He has played his cards in full without a shadow of a doubt. And this makes me believe one thing. In the Okoro family, we have what we call the Game of Thrones. Truly, there is a Game of Thrones in the royal family. And who are the main players of this Game of Thrones? Now, the main player is basically Prince Charles and Prince William. Those are the two main players, basically. And right now, Camilla is stepping into the scene as the third player, alongside Kate Middleton as the fourth player. Harry already said that he wants no part of it. He wants no part of this, what is called the game. Harry already said he wants no part of it. Now, apparently, according to UK tabloids, the Duke of Cambridge, Prince William, supports his grandmother's firm desire that Camilla is given the title of Queen when Charles becomes king, despite huge family rows in early years of his father's second marriage. And yet, UK tabloids are waiting for a statement or a comment from Prince Harry. And ever since they've not received a comment from Prince Harry, who has a zero engagement policy with them, they have lost it. As a matter of fact, even right now, as we speak, they are currently even asking, where is Meghan Markle? That's the question that they're asking Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. I mean, they don't need to ask. I mean, they can basically ask me, right? I can tell them where she is. At home, working to put food on the table for her son and her daughter, Archie and Libby Diana, next to her loving husband, Prince Harry, and her loving mom, Doria Ragland. And so they're looking for Meghan. But when they see Meghan, they're like, oh, look, she's attention-seeking. When they don't see Meghan, it's, wait, where is Meghan? We haven't seen her in months. Where is she? It reminds me of what Meghan said a couple of while back during an interview with Teenager Therapy on mental health. Now, she said this, Meghan. She said, I was barely even visible. But every single day, I was basically being bullied by UK tabloids on their front pages. I was invincible, juggling as a mother to feed my child and attained some engagements. I was not even seen for months. But yet every single day I was on the front pages. Every single day. And we know that. We all know that because that's how UK tabloids operate. And we have to give the likes of Prince William on this story and Prince Charles basically props. Basically, Prince Charles is playing the Game of Thrones really, really well. We know that Charles is the one that normally has the jealousy issues. We've had it before with Princess Diana, what she said. Charles was normally jealous of Princess Diana, the love and the affection that the public had for Princess Diana. He loathed it. You only need to look at an episode of The Crown, basically, to see how jealous Prince Charles was of the love and affection the public had for Princess Diana, believing that it should only be for him. And he has passed on that form of jealousy from father to son, to Prince William. He has passed it on directly to Prince William. Prince William now has the same kind of problem, jealousy for his younger brother, Prince Harry. And his sister-in-law, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, to the point that they had to basically smear them out of the country, to the point that they had no choice but to flee. So make no mistake about one thing. There are 4 main players in this Game of Thrones that we're currently seeing. We have Prince Charles, Prince William, Kate Middleton, and Camilla. And William basically did all the dirty work and gave his mother the label paranoid. And you can be sure that Prince Charles was very, very thankful for what Prince William did. Imagine calling your mother, who was chased to her death by photographers, to her death, paranoid. So that Camilla could be called Queen. Charles has done and played this game really well. And now his mistress, Camilla, has moved from being just a mistress and the third person in the marriage to future Queen Consort of the United Kingdom. William did all the dirty work and gave his mother the label paranoid, that Camilla could be called Queen, and his dreams of being next are dashed. He made himself irrelevant with his own ambition. And chaos, according to the Game of Thrones, what was said is that chaos is a ladder. He exploited jealousy to move a rival for spotlight, uplift his number one priority, and neutralize his ex's words. That's what Charles did. He used chaos as a ladder. And I have to give it to Charles. I never really thought that he was smart. But with how things are going in right now, he's played the Game of Thrones really, really well. Like I said, these people, they're not a family. They really are not a family. They are basically more like a cult and not a family. And they have a weapon. And what is it that's their weapon? The UK tabloids. Now, according to recent news on the UK tabloids, what I've always been talking about is unraveling. Every single thing is coming to light. Every single thing that I've said basically are all facts. Every single thing that I've ever said to you, all of you here at Sasquatch Family TV. And I'm glad that every single thing that I've said basically are facts. I give you facts, not fiction. Facts. Especially in light of what I want to talk about right now. Now, listen to this. The government is ensuring that online safety law won't apply to their press friends, supposedly on the grounds that the press is already regulated. Our national press in the UK, the national press is not regulated. At Ipsos News is a toothless poodle of the industry. It's basically dysfunction. It just doesn't work. It basically does not work. Ipsos has failed and is a failure. And let the world know that. Now, what is it that UK tabloids are looking for right now? Now, regulated media, apparently, by Ofcom, that never ever does anything, that is basically dysfunctional. I mean, someone can be xenophobic on a UK tabloid's front pages. Prince Harry talked about this. He talked about the vile vitriol Meghan experienced on the front pages of UK tabloids just a few days after his relationship with then-girlfriend Meghan Markle became public. He had to write a letter and issue a statement condemning the vitriol that he has seen, the press attacks, the abuse that Meghan had faced. Now, apparently, now UK tabloids are a protection racket for each other. I've said this, and today I will show you a bunch of things that I've investigated and found out. I like investigating. Now listen to this. Regulated media is said to be exempt from new offenses making online disinformation illegal. That means that right now, UK tabloids, according to a new law that will be passed very soon, online disinformation, UK tabloids will be exempt from giving out disinformation to the public. that is the regulated media apparently by Ofcom that never really does anything, is to be exempt from new offences making online disinformation illegal. Now, Rupert Murdoch once said this, Rupert Murdoch of all people, he said this, he said that we need to fight online misinformation and disinformation. Rupert Murdoch, the one who owns Fox News and the one who owns The Sun. That's basically, people in Liverpool have said, don't buy The Sun because of how bigoted and abusive it is. And that's just part of the reason, basically, because of how toxic tabloids owned by Rupert Murdoch are in the UK. And now he's starting Talk TV with Piers Morgan once again to continue the bullying. And I want to show you something. I want you to understand something. Now, apparently, there is a news that I've just investigated is the fact that new criminal offences to combat offensive communications such as harmful COVID-19 disinformation will have a built-in exemption for the press as part of the online safety bill, the government has said, meaning that UK tabloids can basically talk to the public and issue disinformation. They can lie to the public if they want. They can basically lie and they can get away with it because they are exempt. Because the government says that Ofcom will regulate it. Ofcom. Now, the government said none of the 3 new offences covering harm, falsehoods, and threats will apply to regulated media such as print and online journalism, TV, radio, and film. Do you listen to this? None of the 3 offences that is covering harm. You see what UKW did to Caroline Flack. They abused at the point she committed suicide. Now they'll be exempt from that. Covering harm, falsehood. If you lie on national TV, you'll be exempted. You'll receive an exemption. You'll be protected, basically. If you lie on national TV, the law now protects you because, don't worry, the media tabloids are regulated by Ofcom. That's what they are saying right now. And threats. UK tabloids will also be exempted from making threats because they are regulated by Ofcom. That's what the government is telling the people in the UK. I cannot believe that people actually aren't calling this out. I just cannot believe it. I can't. I don't understand how. I mean, the public has been brainwashed to just accept these kinds of things. Now, the Law Commission reviewed the criminal law relating to abusive and offensive online communications and said the current legislation in the Malicious Communications Act 1988 and the Communications Act 2003 was not fit for purpose following the rise of smartphones and social media. For example, abusive messages posted publicly online may slip through the net because they have no intended recipient, while the current laws are sufficiently broad in scope that they could constitute a disproportionate interference in the right to freedom of expression. Instead, the Commission recommended 3 new criminal offences which have been accepted by ministers and will be added to the online safety bill. They include a person sending a message they know is false with the intention to cause non-trivial emotional, psychological, or physical harm. This could include disinformation about fake COVID-19 cures, but would not include misinformation, meaning the person would have to know what they are sending is false. If they generally believe it to be true, they could not be prosecuted. Now, what did the government say? The government said this. For example, if an individual posted on social media encouraging people to inject antiseptic to cure themselves of coronavirus, a court would have to prove that the individual knew this was not true before posting it. In addition, generally threatening messages including threats to kill, rape, or cause serious physical or financial harm would be better legislated against. The government said it will offer better protection for public figures such as MPs, celebrities, or footballers who receive extremely harmful messages threatening their safety. This is likely to mean abusive messages targeting journalists are also better covered. The Digital Culture, Media, Sports and Sports Committee last month claimed the draft online safety bill was a missed opportunity to properly solve an array of online issues, including the abuse faced by journalists online, but not the abuse the so-called journalists in the UK place on people they claim to scrutinize. Make no mistake about one thing: scrutiny and abuse are two different words. Every single thing that is being done right now is to protect this so-called carnival of so-called experts who call themselves journalists, but not to protect the people that have to face bullying from them. Now, the third new offense apparently will cover messages sent to cause harm without a reasonable excuse. Currently, they must fit into categories such as grossly offensive, obscene, or indecent to be prosecuted. The government said this offense would have exemptions for communication which contributes to a matter of public interest. Chris Philip, Minister for Tech and the Digital Economy, announced the exemption for the press to MPs on Friday. Do you see that? Protection, a protection racket. Whatever Rupert Murdoch says goes. Now, in a written statement, he said, whilst we do not expect the new offences will capture communication made by the media. Wow, now that is what I wanted to talk about. This is the part that I wanted to get. He said, whilst we do not expect the new offences will capture communication made by the media. The UK tabloids have been exempted from this. When every single day you see members of UK tabloids, people who call themselves journalists, going on national TV to publicly abuse. I've seen the likes of Piers Morgan call Prince Harry and Meghan names that I wouldn't even call another human being. I can't even call them here on YouTube. I can't even mention it because it's offensive that you would refer to someone else like that in that manner. Use words denoting, let me say just in quotes, an animal to describe another human being. And then you call yourself a journalist. Again, you call yourself saying that, hey, I'm scrutinizing these people. They're afraid of scrutiny. They don't want criticism. You really need to go and relook the definition of criticism. You need to go and relook the definition of criticism. Because what UK tabloids do to Prince Harry and Meghan is not criticism. When you call someone names that denote basically animals, you are not criticizing that person. You are abusing that person. You need to understand that. Apparently, now the government is basically protecting the media, saying that it doesn't expect the media to abuse people, when basically the media abuses people every single day. They bully others. They even throw insults towards others on national TV, plastering it across the front page. They write xenophobic articles telling a woman of color, mixed race woman, to go back to America. And yet, people just don't see that. Why? 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 Now, whilst we do not expect, let me continue. Whilst we do not expect these new offences will capture communication made by the media, including these press exemptions, demonstrate the government's commitment to upholding media freedom. You don't have media in the UK. You have tabloids. They don't qualify to become media. You have gossip magazines that basically abuse people and bully people and silence people and then proclaim themselves to be anti-cancel culture, when basically what they do every single day is try to cancel Prince Harry and Meghan every single day for 6 years now. 6 years now. From the moment the relationship became public, or because a husband wouldn't bow to the pressure by UK tabloids to abandon his wife and child as they demanded him to in exchange for good press, like what Charles did to Princess Diana. He handed Princess Diana over. He handed even Prince William and Prince Harry. We'll get that in a few. In exchange for good press, and now William is doing the same. That's why I'm saying Charles has played this Game of Thrones game pretty much to his favor really well. Now, apparently, someone cannot be found guilty of the harm-based or false communication offense if they have a reasonable excuse, such as if something was or was intended as a contribution to the public interest. Do you see that? If your comments are meant to harm someone, you won't be found guilty if basically your contribution was basically intended to be a contribution to the public interest. Imagine that. I remember when Meghan did that Oprah interview today, and I remember very clearly where before the Oprah interview, basically, UK tabloids were basically writing articles saying Meghan and Harry should remember are about to give car crash interview. Do you remember car crash? Prince Harry's mother died due to a car crash after an accident, after she was being chased by photographers. But here they were threatening Prince Harry and Meghan already, even before the Oprah interview. And now, what they're saying right now in this law is that any content that is basically found to be guilty of harm-based or false communication offense, if someone has a reasonable excuse, like, for instance, if they say it was in the public interest, like they like to use Harry and Meghan, they like to keep on saying basically that Harry and Meghan, everything to do with them is based on the public interest, when Harry and Meghan do not earn a penny of taxpayer money. Now, they're saying that if you simply use that defense, you can get away with it. This will embolden people to continue abusing others. Why can't people just see that? Now, News Media Association Legal Director Saya Kitekin said the group represents UK national and regional news brands, made the case to the Law Commission for a much-needed press exemption, and was very pleased that this had been accepted by the government. Do you see that? And Rupert Murdoch has been having a series of meetings with ministers as well. And this has come into full force. Now, I could go on all day about this, but that's just what I wanted to talk about basically. That's what I want to talk about basically. Now, Ofcom is defunct. It doesn't even work basically. But yet, what they're doing right now is just wrong. It's just wrong, people. And it will come back to bite people in their backs if they allow this to happen. Because this will pass clearly, because Rupert Murdoch has endorsed it. And now ministers are about to pass it. It's the Boris Johnson's government after all. Now, it's often said that Johnson is special because he survived scandals that would have ended the careers of others. No, he isn't. He survives because UK tabloids let him, because of Rupert Murdoch and the Rothmers. And in return, what does he offer? He offers an online safety law that won't apply to press friends. Ofcom doesn't really work. It's a toothless poodle of the industry. It doesn't work. It never does anything, basically. People can be abused on the front pages and they do nothing. Now, we know that Prince Charles sold out William and Harry to the tabloids in exchange for protecting Camilla, his dearly beloved queen consort. They've done this, and this is the game that they've been playing for quite a long time. And we know that public opinion for Camilla was very, very bad. And the royal family, the farm, had to do some PR for that. To do that, they needed to work with UK tabloids. And what did UK tabloids demand in exchange? They demand the routine access to Harry and William in exchange, especially to Harry, whom they called Prince Harry the new Diana. Imagine chasing someone's mother to death. But that's not enough. That's not enough. Now, your full gaze turns on his son now, after chasing the mother to death. Now, Prince Charles employed a ruthless media operation that was willing to denigrate his children and slander Princess Diana in order to improve his personal reputation. That's how he's always been. Even Prince Harry was sold out to tabloid press by one of their father's closest ADs while they were still kids. The young princess was said to have been stunned and angered when they discovered that one of their father's advisors had deliberately placed personal and negative stories about them in the newspapers. The first violation of the boys' privacy came when they were aged 16 and 13 of Prince William and Prince Harry, just 10 months after the death of their mother, Princess Diana. They never stop. And now the next target is Meghan. Now, this Machiavellian character at the heart of the BBC documentary that released this information, called Reinventing the Royals, which was pulled from his original air date after a dispute with Buckingham Palace, is Mark Boland, one of the Prince of Wales' most trusted courtiers for 7 tumultuous years. A BBC spokeswoman denied reports that the show was originally halted by palace lawyers, telling us that it was delayed by mutual consent, which is a lie basically, because we know that the royal family, the firm, can bend UK tabloids and the BBC, even the BBC, to its will, especially the BBC. Now, in the wake of Diana's death, the British public had a largely negative view of a man who had cheated on the mother of his children and appeared nonplussed by her death. Now, someone called Boland would attempt to overturn that image and build a new reputation for his boss, no matter who else had to be sacrificed to make him look good. There goes it. The jealousy that Charles has always felt and has now passed on to Prince William. Now, Charles' courtier is accused of helping to write a book that describes Princess Diana as, and I quote, allow me to use these words, a serial adulterer with mental health issues, as well as sanctioning a story that would run in the news of the world that basically hacked people's phones and even had to close down, claiming Prince Harry had taken drugs in exchange for an editorial praising Charles' fabricated reaction to the revelation. Every single thing that they've ever done in their life is basically they've only ever seen Prince Harry as their personal scapegoat. That's how they've always seen him in their life. Now, the first time Boland allegedly briefed against the teenagers, Henry says it was left to her to explain to Prince William what had happened. In 1998, the 16-year-old agreed for the first time to meet Camilla Parker Bowles, the woman with whom Charles had cheated on William's mother. Every moment of that traumatic first meeting was subsequently described in vivid detail in the Sun newspapers to help Charles reinvent his image and even prop up Camilla. And even now, they're doing the same thing. With Prince William, basically, according to UK tabloids, is basically pleased that Camilla will be the queen consort. The woman that caused Prince William's mother so much pain. Basically, Prince William called his own mother paranoid, so I don't think he really cares anymore much. Now, so someone spoke to the reporter who had written that story for The Sun, and he said, and I quote, "We got all the details. Her, Camilla, drinking the gin and tonic, her having a sneaky Brits speak for surreptitious cigarette beforehand because she was nervous and everything else," said Charles Ray, the paper's royal correspondent from 1995 to 2002. So all the detail came to us and was, if you like, absolutely kosher. Apart from Camilla and William telling us you couldn't have got it from a better source, it was Mark Boland. Now, Boland refused to be interviewed, described this account as utter rubbish, basically disagreeing. Now, by 2002, the growing sense of frustration had come to boil over. The rest of the family was sick of being collateral damage in Prince Charles' black ops. And Prince Charles basically had handed over Prince Harry to UK tabloids. And even when that time happened, let me describe one event, for instance. Now, Tom Bradby, a former ITN role correspondent and friend of the princes, said Harry had felt trapped by Boland's alleged arrangement in which the palace agreed not to contest the drug allegations if the editorial flagged up the way Prince Charles has supposedly responded by taking his youngest son to a drug treatment center as a warning. In fact, the coincidental rehab visit had taken place months earlier. Harry knew he had done nothing wrong. Harry knew that he'd done the wrong thing. He felt very bad about it. He felt he'd let people down. But I think he was quite angry that stuff had not happened in the way it had been said. UK tabloids had twisted the words and basically to make Charles look good. Now, the only thing that they've ever seen Harry as is their personal scapegoat. That's how Prince Charles, Prince William, they see them as. They see Meghan now as their personal scapegoat. They've used Meghan to cover up for their own actions for such a long time. When Prince Charles has a cash for access honor scandal, suddenly a new story about Prince Harry and Meghan props up. The only person that Prince Charles cares about is Prince Charles and himself and Camilla. That's all. A very bad story for Harry had turned into a very good story for Charles. Now, Charles' courtiers actually pulled this off. They did this so that they could reinvent Prince Charles in the eyes of the public. And they used Rupert Murdoch-owned the Sun to actually do this. And what these people get away with, it's just wrong, and it makes me sick what they get away with every single time. It just makes me sick, to be honest with you. And I can't stand it. I just can't stand it. Now, one thing that I want to talk about also before I end this podcast is the fact that a woman called Kirsty Allsopp. Now, who is this woman? Now, it's someone who writes for UK tabloids. Now, this woman basically has gone on a tirade. Now, why am I mentioning this woman today? Is because this woman who constantly bullies Meghan, and actually I even accused Meghan of bullying, wrote these kinds of articles, defamatory articles towards Meghan, that is of Sussex, is now complaining that UK tabloids are written a bad story about her. And she tweeted and said this: "It's a horrible feeling being lied about by a powerful Sunday newspaper. It's equally scary when its daily news partner doubles down on that lie and continues to attack you. But I know the truth. They're using my name to generate clicks. Seem they need me more than I need them." Now, this woman said very, very bad things about Meghan and Harry. Said very, very bad things. And I kept on saying this to you, to all of you, every single time. I kept on saying this: the monster you feed will be the monster that eats you. They were so happy to smear Meghan. So happy. They loved doing it. They enjoyed it. And now today, this Kirsty Allsopp is complaining that a UK tabloids had made or written an article full of lies about her. She even calls out the Murdoch press. She says, "More lies from the Murdoch press. In many parts of the country, there is not enough provision for younger first-time buyers, and I would never say any of you of this stuff is pure fantasy." Now, because this all arises because basically an article came out basically saying that if you're not rich, you should just look for a smaller place, a smaller apartment, if you can't afford the houses in the UK. The main goal is to just generate outrage and get money for clicks. That's how they've always behaved. And I've always said this: the monster you feed today will be what eats you tomorrow. It's never about Meghan. It's not even just about Meghan. For instance, let me just say this: it's not just about Meghan. This isn't even about Meghan. It's about every single other woman that has to go through this. They thought that, oh, it's only about Meghan. They abuse Meghan. But today, they're going after Kirsty Allsopp. Today, they're going after her. And I've always said this before. Like, this is to protect other people, protect every single person, every single one, every single person else around the UK and around the world from this harassment behavior of UK tabloids. Because today they chased Diana to death. Tomorrow, they want to chase someone else. They want to chase Meghan. As Prince Harry said, they won't stop. They won't stop. And in the next 20 years, they'll be chasing someone else because that's how they're behaving. They're behaving. They basically believe that they own the country. They're in charge of the country. They act like they behave like they are above the law. Because in UK tabloids are above the law. Basically, let's make no mistake about that. I've even shown you in this podcast, laws are currently being bent right now as we speak in broad daylight, are currently being bent for UK tabloids to continue abusing others while they themselves are protected. Attacks against them are protected. Any person who confronts them will be protected. Now, this same person that spent her time bullying Harry and Meghan, writing defamatory articles about Harry and Meghan, because that was the trend of UK tabloids, has even name-dropped Piers Morgan. He's called Piers Morgan a repulsive bully. Those are the words by Kirsty Alsop. He called him, and I quote, a repulsive bully who would attach himself to any passing bandwagon. Now, make no mistake about one thing. She is telling the truth about this for once in her life. Piers Morgan is a bully, a repulsive one at that, who would attach himself to any passing bandwagon. Whatever it is, Piers Morgan will always want to attach himself to it. I mean, look at him. He wanted to say that, hey, I met Meghan once, and he's going on national TV to cry for 6 years. Oh, Meghan not coming back. Meghan not coming back for 6 years now. And it's been allowed by the media. Some people are even quoting him now. Oh, Meghan ghosted me. Are even quoting him right now. As a woman, and people who are mothers to daughters right now, you have a right to basically say no to someone. You have that right. I have a right. One day when I have my own daughter, I want her to have that right of saying no to someone. Because yes, she has that right to say no. I don't want you in my life. I don't want that in my life. I don't want this person in my life. I don't want that person in my life. But yet, a woman setting boundaries in the UK is attacked for setting boundaries in her life. A woman not wanting to meet with bullies is attacked for not wanting to meet with bullies, bullying her. That's what happened in the UK to Meghan. We've seen the carnival of so-called experts go on national TV and say, it's because Meghan didn't meet us. That's why we attack her so much. Because she didn't meet us. That's what they keep on saying. And I'm glad that Harry and Meghan left as I end this podcast. I'm glad that they left. I'm thankful that Harry loved his wife and son so much to take them away from this toxic environment. And as I said, the monsters you feed, like Kirsty also fed UK tabloids and went in on the trend of bullying Harry and Meghan. Today, the same tabloids have gone ahead to want to eat her up. The monsters you feed will one day eat you. If you feed hate, hate will eat you up. If you feed love, then that's what you'll get, love. Harry and Meghan have chosen love. And that's why you see the glow up on their faces. When they look at their children, Archie, Libet, Diana, you see the glow up and the happiness. And I'm just glad that they left that cesspool of an environment. I'm just glad and thankful for that. Now, hope you've enjoyed this podcast. I hope you like, subscribe, and supporting our ever-growing family on YouTube. Kindly don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for daily and consistent content. Prince Charles has truly played his cards right with UK tabloids. However, he has failed as a husband and he has failed as a father. Now, with so much love, stay tuned to our next video. Give us your thoughts and tell me what you think about this latest podcast. With so much love, stay tuned to our next video.